Have you ever emailed yourself so many tasks that your inbox becomes one massive stress machine? Okay, it's me. I'm the problem. It's me. And today I want to talk to you about a tool that, at least since December, has been helping me stop that bad habit of emailing myself tasks. And hey, if you love emailing yourself tasks, mazel tov. But I can't stand going in my inbox and having like 40 emails that I'm constantly worrying and thinking about and not knowing which one's a task and which I need to reply to. It had to stop. As a coach or a consultant or a speaker, you have a lot of ideas, a lot of clients, a lot of moving pieces, and most of our brains don't want to naturally file things into folders. Like it's not small. And when you can do it, it's freedom. Let's do it. Welcome to the Establish Yourself podcast, the show that helps coaches and consultants get clear on how to talk about what you do, simplify your offers, and have more fun in your business and beyond. I'm Annie Franceschi, brand strategist, author, former Disney storyteller, and forever Muppet fan. I'm here to help you clarify your message, package your expertise, and streamline your systems to grow a business you actually enjoy. If you're ready for less confusion and more magic, it's time to establish yourself. So today I want to introduce you to a great free tool I've been using called Todoist, Todoist, and why it's become one of the few productivity tools that I've actually been able to stick with. And I'll just say this up front. I don't have an affiliate code for this. This is not a sponsored episode. I am still on the free plan. I just really love this tool. And I wanted to share today why it's been helping me in case you also struggle with taking all the thoughts and things you have to do in your brain and finding a good system for them. Because what I've found is that the best business system isn't often the fanciest or most expensive thing. It's the thing that works for your brain. This tool has been helping me keep my day to day work organized as someone who just does not come by this naturally. Now, I have not formally been diagnosed with ADHD, but I am one of those people that has so many systems that I have tried in my lifetime that, you know, that diagnosis would not shock me. I sort of have an assumptive perspective, just knowing that the way your brain's supposed to work is just not how my brain works. And I am always switching from different kinds of to-do lists, paper lists, notes app, emailing myself, the random Google documents, half-finished notebooks. Am I making you feel better? I hope I'm making you feel better. Like I have tried so many different things. And so when I'm able to stick with something for more than a few weeks, it really is a game changer for me. And I would say like a decade ago, I actually used Todoist for about a year or two. And I found myself back in this past December, just about at this point, it'd be about 5 months ago, and just being like, man, girl, you have gone rogue. You don't have a single written to do list. Like, how are you getting through every day and running your practice at such a high level? And I just truthfully didn't know, but I knew that I was thinking about the stuff in my business all the time. And my inbox had gotten like absolutely wild. So it was time to figure it out. I took myself on a strategic planning retreat to Disney World at the beginning of December. And I was like, I have to work on this. And this is actually a perfect example of what I would do on a retreat like that. And so I just sat with myself and I started trying out all these different apps. And I knew I wanted something that was not going to fight how my brain works. I got that great advice a couple years ago, which is don't fight how your brain works. And I was like, I'm a verbal processor. I talk through things. So I needed something I could sort of dictate into. And I sat at Steakhouse 71 at Disney's Contemporary Resort. It's like right around the corner from the Magic Kingdom. And I just had a nice dinner and sat there and tried all these different apps. And I thought, I kept coming up against bottlenecks and things that just didn't work. They didn't make sense to me. And then I was like, what about my old friend Todoist? Todoist is still around and there's this great free version of it. So I downloaded it and started playing with it and it was just really intuitive, especially because they've since added this feature called Ramble, which like it sounds like I might do a little bit today. It's you can hop in the app and you can actually just talk through tasks and it will actually automatically create the tasks for you. So that was like a really nice way into how my brain works. And maybe you can relate to that. So I want to talk to you a little bit about how I use this tool in case this gets you thinking maybe I can save myself from the mess going on. No judgies here. It's a safe space. Um, but for me, Todoist has become sort of this external brain. And that matters because my actual brain is really amazing at generating ideas, but it is not the best at naturally placing those ideas into nice little baskets with due dates and reminders. My brain is really excellent at what I call spaghetti thoughts. Those moments where you're just talking through something and it's not linear yet. It's just like, I need to email that person and I have that idea for the podcast and I should follow up with that person. I need to read this book. Da, 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 da. That's spaghetti thoughts. And what I needed was for a place for those thoughts to go that was not my inbox. Because when I would email myself, I would go into my inbox and it would just be like really distracting. Right. And so that's not a smooth system. It's just a stress producer. And so one of the rules that I've made as I've implemented something like Todoist is that the only thing that stays in my inbox are emails I need to reply to. And I made a label within my Gmail inbox that was like reply. And it's a separate inbox I can see and it's got like a blue label, etc. And everything else I have told myself goes in Todoist. And I think the only reason I've been able to do that is because Todoist is as easy as emailing myself. So I have the free app on my phone and I can just open it up and add a task very quickly. There is also an extension if you use Gmail. I don't know if you use Outlook or other things, but I know for Gmail, which I use for my business email, there is an integration with Todoist. So if I get an email from someone that might make a good task, I can literally press the Todoist button and turn that into a task. So that is really, really nice for me. And I'm also able to, as I mentioned, they have this kind of feature called Ramble when you can sort of ramble out multiple tasks. What I do a lot is I'll open the app for Todoist and I'll hit my little voice dictation button on my iPhone. Basically, you hit this little microphone button on your iPhone and then you can just talk it out. And what's really great is when you stop talking and you sort of hit enter for your text, Todoist is very smart. So even if you sort of typed in or you voice dictated what you wanted, if you say on Monday at 10 a.m., remind me to do this, it will automatically set the task up for Monday at 10 a.m. So you don't have to like write the task, schedule it for Monday, choose 10 a.m. That's 3 steps, right? Now it does it all in one step. And that for me, like lessening that cognitive load, like as a busy business owner, as a wife, as a parent, like I just have a million tabs open all the time. And so when dealing with one tab takes one step instead of three, it is a game changer. Right. And that is the very definition of it. So it's sort of already naturally working with my style. And I also love that it has what it calls filters and labels. Filters and labels are your master savings plan here because it will allow you to create those relationships between your tasks without overthinking them. Because what you can do is whether you're on your phone or you are in your inbox, etc., you can very easily create labels on the go. So a label, you just create it in Todoist by hitting the add button, and then you can create a label for anything you want, and any task can have multiple labels. So this is really nice because sometimes you're going to have things like you want to group them, like emails you need to send or something you need to do related, all related to your program, etc. But I also like it for just saving ideas. So I create what I call parking labels for different projects. So I have like a tag for package your process with the expert, which is my lead signature offer to help you get clear on how you talk about what you do and what you sell. And I created what I call a label that I just call PYPE hyphen parking. And so anytime I have a good idea for that offer, it's something I want to do with it, but it's not time to turn it into a task, I will add it and just put in no due date. So I can add any random thought coming out of the shower to that parking list. Apply to it. If you have a podcast, it could be podcast hyphen parking. You're welcome to steal that little label thing for me. But I like this because at any given point, if I need to go back or I want to go back to see where the tasks are or to keep track of even, books I want to read, I can make it an easy label very quickly in the app that's just at books I want to read. And suddenly I have a way to repeat the same simple action. open my phone or open my inbox, create the task or the item, and then I don't have to think through all the possible permutations. I don't have to manually organize anything. Todoist will do it for me. And in a life that is so busy, having something do something for you is phenomenal. So, just to keep this all together, I have had a clean inbox for the better part of 5 months because I've set a simple boundary and downloaded a free app. I've told myself email is for email, Todoist is for tasks. And for me, that's made this whole work of keeping myself on track and never losing a great idea so much more manageable. So if you are currently emailing yourself tasks or keeping 14 different lists in 15 different places, or waking up in the middle of the night thinking, shoot, I forgot to follow up with that person, this may be a sign that all you really need is a better external brain. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be expensive. It just has to be easy and intuitive enough that you'll actually use it. For me, right now, that tool is Todoist. I love that I can talk out my tasks. I love that it understands every Monday or in 3 months. I love that I can use labels to sort my business from my professional life and my big ideas. I love that I can create parking lots of amazing ideas without due dates, waiting for me to take action when I'm ready. And I love that I can finally get those tasks out of my email and into the place where they belong. So, your tiny action step today is this: pick one place where your tasks are currently hiding. Maybe it's your inbox, your notes app, a pile of literal sticky notes, and create one place for those tasks to go. Maybe try Todoist or try something else, but give yourself the incredible gift of an external brain. Because look, your expertise deserves better than being buried and frozen in a 40 email deep inbox of reminders from the very wonderful and very busy you. And I think you'll find that your business is going to get a lot easier and more fun to run when your to do system isn't fighting how your brain works. Now, if you like today's episode and you want more tools, strategies, and behind the scenes tips like this, be sure to head over to greateststorycreative.com/podlinks. There you can sign up to get new podcast episodes sent right to your inbox. And from time to time, I will continue to spotlight great tools like this, the ones that I've discovered, the ones that I'm using in my own business or recommending to clients. Today's happens to be a free, amazing productivity tool called Todoist. So check it out, play with it, and most importantly, stop making your inbox do a job it was never meant to do. It's not you, boo. You got this. Hey, do you like surprises? The credits are about to roll, but just like a Marvel movie, stick around to the end for something I put in just for you. Thanks for listening to the Establish Yourself podcast. I'm Annie Franceschi, and if you're enjoying the show, it would mean so much to me if you follow it, leave a quick rating, or share it with a friend. And for free branding resources and more ways to work together, head to greateststorycreative.com/podcast. Now here it is, your moment of magic. Hey, bestie. Can I call you bestie? I had the unique experience on Friday of going to a networking event and having a couple people walk up to me and be like, "Oh my gosh, I share your podcast episode with everyone, episode 45, and you have to meet this person." And she brought over another person for me to meet. She's like, "Oh yeah, I listen to your podcast all the time. I'm like binging it." And I was like, "Y'all, what?" I was so delighted. And I just wanted to tell you that there's this weird thing when you're a podcaster is you put all this effort every single week into putting out an episode. And, I've been doing this for over a year. This is episode 70. Wah, hard to believe. And it can feel like you're sending this out in the void. But I know what those people were experiencing because I would often listen to and still do listen to experts on their podcasts. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I've been listening to you for 5 months. I've listened to 100 episodes. And that person's like my bestie. Like we do walks together, like we do laundry together, right? But it often doesn't dawn on me that that host of that show has no idea because I've never reached out to them. So please, if you listen to the show, like shoot me a quick note. Come find me on LinkedIn or reply to the email if you got this via email, but like just let me know because I think this is this weird, like, some weeks I'm like, hello, is this thing on? Is anyone listening? But I was joking with these two lovely ladies who came up to me because I was like, y'all coming up to me gives me like 6 months of rocket fuel, being like, oh, People are listening to this. People do care. So whether it's me or another podcast you're listening to, just remember as creators, we don't necessarily know that you and I are besties. I know we go way back, right? That you've listened since episode 1. But if you're loving the show, like please just say hi. We can have a little secret handshake and you can let me know who your favorite Muppet is. So if you have a favorite Muppet or you don't, that could be a fun fact too. But I would love to hear from you. So I'll drop my links to my LinkedIn where you can find me there, or you can reach out via the email you got this from. And again, if you don't get episodes by email, what are you waiting for? Head on over to greateststorycreative.com/podlinks, obviously. And thanks so much for listening. It really does make a huge difference, and I really appreciate it.